I got a story that I want to share with you tonight. A couple of days ago, I was on my motorcycle with my girlfriend at the time, and we were out just doing a little bit of freshwater fishing. And we had the fishing poles and the backpack, and it was a beautiful summer day. And we were just out enjoying ourselves. We didn't catch anything, so I decided to take a ride to the eastern part of Long Island. Just check out the view, the scenery, and about 45 minutes in, I got this really quick flash in my head. It's probably lasted for about seven to 10 seconds. It was really quick. I saw my girlfriend covered in blood, laying on the road, not breathing, road rash. Clearly, we had been into a motorcycle accident, and it was really gory. And just that fast, it flashed to her funeral, where I saw members of her family there. And her son spoke. I heard him speaking. He had a nice black suit on, and he was telling everybody that it was just an accident. It was so vivid. I could hear his voice. I could see the family members in the audience at the funeral. Before that, I could see the blood. It was very graphic, and it was very difficult. I don't know why that image came in my head, but to any extent, I decided to not drive any further, so I turned back around and went back home. Well, by the time we got back to my house, she asked me, she said, well, why didn't we go for this ride that you wanted to do? Why don't we take this beautiful ride? I said, I kind of downplayed it. I said, well, it's getting late, and, I didn't really have a good feeling. So I decided to come back. Well, when she stays over my house, she has to get up at 3 a.m. in order to catch the train back to Manhattan to go to work, make it by 6 a.m. So that means we got to get up at 2:30 to get on the road so that, she could get to work on time. So beautiful night. So we got back on the bike, 3 o'clock in the morning or so. We're driving down the road, and then all of a sudden, this voice comes into my head. And it's so dominant. It's so pronounced. It says, oh, you thought this was over? You still got to get her to the train station. I could have swore somebody else was on my motorcycle with us. It was that close to us, close to me actually. It really shook me up. And so I'm driving to the train station, and there's this road, it's called 231, and that late I usually like to speed 120, 140 miles an hour. Open road, no lights, no cars, nothing, no cops. This day I decided to keep it at 95, so I'm going down the road, and I'm in the right-hand lane, and then all of a sudden that voice comes back, and it says, get into the left lane. I move into the left lane and out jumps a huge deer right in front of me. I mean, there was no time to brake. There was no time to swerve. There's no time to shift the gears. I had enough time to close my eyes and brace for impact, because that's exactly what I thought was about to happen. Now let me stop. I'm thinking about the stories as I'm telling it. And I'm thinking that I was in the right-hand lane. I was told to get over to the left-hand lane. I opened my eyes up and we're past the deer. I don't know, don't ask me what happened, how we didn't hit the deer, but I know one thing. Had I stayed in the right-hand lane, we would have been on the perfect trajectory to have full impact with this 600-pound deer. It was a male deer. It was what they call a buck. It had a full rack of horns. I was so close that I could see my headlight reflection in its eyes. I could see the smoke coming from its mouth and its nostrils as it jumped in front of me. So I was so shaken up. We actually made it to the train station. I couldn't even talk. I was shaking. No words would come out. My girlfriend, she said, "Did you see that?" And I couldn't even respond. When I finally got myself together, I said, "Well, what happened?" Because I closed my eyes. And she said, "Well, I didn't close my eyes." She said, as we were getting ready to hit the deer, it lifted up its hind legs and the bike actually went underneath the deer. Again, unbelievable. Had I not moved from the right-hand lane to the left-hand lane at the time when I was told to do so, this would have been a horrific situation. As a matter of fact, I believe that had I not moved when I was told to move, that image of the funeral, the death, it all would have came to fruition. Why am I saying this? Why am I telling this story? I'm telling this story because we gotta pay attention to the signs. We must pay attention to the signs.